Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brockton High School, home of the Lady Boxers. For playoff basketball, the Durfee Lady Hilltoppers getting to see Brockton for the third time this season, kind of a repeat of last season when the boys got to see the Boxers 3 times and start the playoffs. So Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you here. We've made the trip up 24 and really excited to be here for playoff basketball. And Zach, you know, both teams, they split the season series and each team won on their home court. So I guess you could say Brockton, being at home, has a home court advantage.
Yeah, you can say that, but Evan, like you had said, they played each other 3 times already in the season, so the home court advantage obviously matters, but there's familiarity. They've seen each other before. They know more or less what to expect from each other.
Yeah, so twice actually this season, now this being the third, and of course this is the one that everybody wants to win. It's a must-win when you get into the playoffs. It's win or go home. So this is actually a preliminary round game. There were 17 teams, and Durfee was the 17th. Because they beat New Bedford, we had that game. Because they beat New Bedford and forced the Big 3 tie, they got in via the Big 3, and they're the 17th seed on the list. So they came in at 9 and 7, seeded last. Brockton, though, just a tick above them at 16. So basically, these two teams, it's almost like a wild card game. They're playing to get into the bracket of 16.
Yeah, both teams pretty equal, 17 and 16. So not expecting a blowout today, expecting a good game from both sides.
All right, we're going to take a quick pause here for the singing of the national anthem, and then we'll be back with playoff basketball. So stick around on Fred TV. Well, I didn't catch the name, Zach, but that's probably one of the best student renditions of the national anthem we've heard all season. That was great. One of the Brockton students with a great voice. Really nice job. All right, let's run down the starters here. So for the visiting Lady Hilltoppers, led by Coach Brendan Kelly, we have number 3, Atia Rivera, number 12, Katera James, number 15, Abby Callahan, number 21, Anusha Lemian, number 35, Shaylin Carrero. And for the home team, Lady Boxers, led by Chris Connolly, we have number 1, Jayla Smith, number 3, Elizabeth Williams, number 11, Neilani Montero, number 33, Annalicia Fernandez, number 35, Jade Wint. The Hilltoppers' victory against Brockton came at the Luke Urban Fieldhouse back on January 12th, and it was a 62-57 game for the Hilltoppers. And we'll look back in the book, and if memory serves right here, if we open the page, Hilltoppers never trailed in that, or I should say after each quarter, the Hilltoppers always led. They didn't open the scoring, if I believe, but once they got ahead, Zach, that was a game that they pretty much were in control of for most of the night.
Yeah, they're going to look to do that again, get out early and keep the train rolling, stay ahead of them.
All right, now, again, this is a road game, so the Hilltoppers are not in white. They are in the road red jerseys. So Durfee in red, and then Brockton in white. And Brockton's home jerseys extremely similar to the Hilltoppers' home jerseys. So don't get confused at home, folks. Durfee in red on the road, Brockton at home in white. And the Hilltoppers start with possession. Going across, and an errant pass there from Atia Rivera. And it's going to turn the ball over. Saw a lot of turnovers in the New Bedford game, but it ended up being a good game for Durfee. They really played hard against New Bedford. One of the best games. I talked to Coach Kelly during the week as Brockton gets the scoring started. It's Jayla Smith underneath for the deuce. I told Coach Kelly that was probably the best girls game I've seen them play since the Quincy playoff game in Brianna Kamara's senior year, which was 3 winters ago. And, I mean, seriously, and he agreed with me. He agreed with me. It was such a strong game. Another turnover for Durfee. So first 60 seconds, 2 turnovers for the Hilltoppers. They trailed 2-zip early. And a whistle. Fouls on the floor. Anush Alemian picking up Durfee's first foul. The Boxers will inbound. You may notice one change on the team is that the Park sisters are no longer on the team. So Nicole, who had been a starter as a freshman, not on the team here for the playoffs. So that's why Anush Alemian in there. Hilltoppers will have to make some adjustments. They get it to Shaylin Carrero. Foul on the floor. And that's Ashley Mayerlack, one of the 3 officials for tonight, making the call. Going to get it out to Alemian. Now they get it to Abby Callahan, to Katera James. She had that ball tipped, and then a late whistle. We're going to have 3 shots. Don't normally see this, but Mark Furtado making the call. And Neilani Montero going to pick up the foul. It's the second foul for the Boxers, and we're going to see 3 shots at the line, the rare 3-point foul.
Don't want to spend too much time on it, but losing the Park sisters is a very big hit for the Hilltoppers, especially going on a playoff push.
Yeah, Nicole, I'd say more than Cheryl. Nicole had a really good season, the games that we saw, but not on the team here for the playoffs. And so, again, it's kind of like next man up. And you just move on, whoever's next to take the lead, and that's where we got Anush Alemian in there. So James, 3 for 3 in that trip to the line. Again, the rare 3-point foul. And the Hilltoppers, with a couple free throws, take the lead 3-2. So early goings here. Atia Rivera tips it away, but Elizabeth Williams able to corral it and get it back. Almost a steal, though. While we're here as well, want to just say thank you to the athletic department here at Brockton for being very accommodating and willing to make sure we had a spot to do the game here. Very appreciative of the athletic department here. They were very good to us, so just want to give a shout out to them. Big thank you. Long pass, and it's going to go out of play. Who's got it? Looks like it's Brockton ball.
Durfee already starting the game with a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and it's kind of been a problem between the boys and the girls this year. We saw a lot of that. Good feed underneath, and that is Rebecca Tanis putting it at number 20. She just came in for Montero. They get it to Carrero. Carrero puts it up, gets knocked down. No foul, no basket. Looked like there might have been a little bit of contact there. Little jumper for 2. Jade Wint. And it's 6-3, Brockton. Stingy defense early here. Look at playing, the Boxers playing up right now, almost like a man coverage. They get it to James, though. She was open, and it's a high bouncer off the rim. Corralled by Tanis. They got it to Fernandez, who brought it out. Now coming to the corner to Smith. Out to the point. Wint for 3.
Wow, it's a tough shot. Tough shot contested. Can't blame the Hilltoppers defense on that one. That was just a better shot.
No, although I will say, we were a little bit further away from the court, and that doesn't fall, but Carrero's going to go to the line as Brockton's going to pick up their 3rd foul. This is on Tanis, who just came in. It's this foul called by Tim Carey. What I was going to say, though, is, while we are a little further away than usual, there was a pass here that Alemian was defending on, and it looked like she could have stepped in front and stole it, but didn't, or maybe gave up on it or something. It just kind of was slow to develop. So, but she gets the rebound here and going to get it right back to Carrero, who just went 1 for 2 and is fouled again. She's going to go back to the line. No, an offensive foul called on Carrero.
Wow. I don't know about that. Thought she was going up with it first.
So Durfee gets their second foul. It's Carrero's first, and they turn the ball over. So she got 1 point out of that free throw trip. That was tipped. Alemian gets it back for Durfee. They're going to go out to James. Now to the corner to Rivera, and Rivera with her second bad pass here in the quarter. Coach Kelly asking if it was kicked. I guess not. But 2 bad passes in the first 3+ minutes for Atia Rivera that have resulted in turnovers. Wint slows it up. Passed it right by Abby Callahan. Now she gets it back in the paint. Going to go outside to, that is Williams, working the perimeter. Now to Fernandez, who's breaking towards the basket. They turn it over right into the hands of Carrero. Carrero gets it to Abby Callahan. They'll slow things up as, boy, she was going 1-on-4. That wasn't going to pan out very well. Anush Alemian, and it was definitely on the money, but just a little bit long as it banked off the glass on the other side of the basket. Already halfway through the first quarter here, and it's 9-4 Boxers. 2 chances there for Brockton, couldn't put it in. Abby Callahan going for the long ball, and that's no good. Katera James gets the rebound, and I'll tell you, Brockton's front presence looking strong, but James able to muscle her way and get that ball in for 2.
Yeah, you see Durfee and Brockton. They're running pretty similar defenses. They're playing 2 up in the half court, but then they're getting it back, and they're closing out on the shot very well. Usually 2 people going up on the contested shot.
This is a long 3, and Tanis using the height to get the rebound. Her teammate Wint got it back, couldn't put it in, and Alemian taking it out. But you're right, both are playing 2 up, kind of pressing it a bit. Callahan went for another 3 ball, no good. I'll tell you one thing, Brockton moving the ball with the passing, but none of their passes are very, they're not really with authority, if you will. They're all kind of just looping them over the shoulder, and I keep waiting for one. They all look like they're getting tipped. It's like they're not leaving the hand well. That pass from Callahan was very strong. James couldn't put that up, though, kind of almost sending it right towards the glass. But, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but the passes are just not, they're almost like lob passes. They're not just full-on passes.
Right. Durfee just needs to read them and cut in front of it and tip it off. Obviously easier said than done, but I think that'll really help them if they can read the passes better and cut them off.
So we had a break here. I think they were trying to get a sub in. Yeah, Alemian is on the bench for the Hilltoppers. No foul. Wint putting it up, no good. Shot clock violation. That was a quick 30 seconds. Almost like it wasn't reset or something. James back to Rivera. High pass to Carrero. Look at the spin move. Draws the foul. Second foul for Tanis since coming into the game. Fourth for the Boxers, my bad. And Carrero back at the line.
Yeah, she's very good at that, drawing contact going up on the shot.
Yeah, and the spin move was that was a great basketball move there. And then, of course, when you're going up to the basket and you get three Boxers right there, pretty hard to not draw the foul. And Carrero slaps her hands in frustration that she didn't hit that second free throw. But the Hilltoppers are going to get the ball back. It went out off of White. So actually the Hilltoppers, rather, getting the ball back. Going to get it right into Carrero, draws a foul, and she's going back to the line again. Got to get some of those to fall, though. She's having some tough luck with having to roll off the rim. First one good, as has been the pattern. Hilltopper's going to get some shots from the field, though. This is going to be that was their 9th free throw. Shaylin is 3 for 6. Katera was 3 for 3 and then had 1 2-pointer from the field. So Hilltopper's going to start sinking some baskets from somewhere other than the free throw line. Only down by 3, but they got to start hitting some shots from the field.
Absolutely. And if you're going to get to the line, you need to hit the shots. They're down by 3. They missed 3 free throws.
Yeah, and that's honestly, I mean, it's early in the game. That's not normally the case. So Carrero usually very good at the line. Right now, early on, small sample size. Early on, though, she's just hitting 50%. Tanis has just picked up her 3rd foul here in the first quarter, and she didn't even start. So Fernandez coming back in. Hilltopper's getting the ball back with 66 seconds to play in the first. Liz Rodriguez for 3 in the tire. Is it for, oh no, they're giving her 2. She must have been just in the line. So Hilltopper's down by 1. Make it 3 again as Wint puts it in. Wint with 10 first quarter points. Gonna have to look to try to shut her down before she does too much damage. She has 10 of the 13. That is blocked. Goes out of play, but Williams stuck the hand in the face of James. And Hilltoppers will inbound with 42.4 to play. I have to be honest, you know, the Hilltoppers always have good fans to travel. Pretty small crowd on hand for a playoff game against a rival, no less. Kind of surprised. Not a whole lot of fans on the far side of the gym. You see there as we pan to the left here. Not a whole lot of fans. Wint took the shot. Fernandez gets the rebound back to Wint, who puts it in. Wint, I had added wrong, so my bad. She's now up over 10. She has 11 points for the first quarter. 11 of the 15 Brockton points to Jade Wint.
Yeah, they definitely need to shut her down before it starts getting out of hand.
Loose ball and a jump ball called with 5.3. And it's going to be Brockton ball. Carrero lost it. So another turnover as well for the Hilltoppers. I mean, they're only going to be down, they're hoping by 5 here. When you think about it, considering all the free throws, if they're only down by 5, that wouldn't be bad. Ball is up, no good. So it's 15-10 Brockton at the end of 1. And I love looking back at stuff. If I recall, it was a 5-point game the first time with Durfee up by 5. It was 20-15 after 1 quarter when the Hilltoppers hosted back on the 12th of January. So a lower scoring first quarter, Zach. 5-point deficit. Durfee down this time. And I think really the key is they got to get some shots from the field, and they need to shut down Wint. They got to get some way to quiet her down.
Yeah, tough first quarter for the Toppers. Nothing really falling for them from the field and at the free throw line. And Wint is just killing them right now.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less than what that.
8 more minutes on the clock for the second quarter. It's the MIAA State Tournament on Fred TV. And this is a word from the MIAA. A well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletics provide the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you on Fred TV for the South D1 preliminary round game between Brockton and Durfee. We're here in Brockton as the Boxers and Hilltoppers square off for the 3rd time this season. Out to James, quickly met by defenders and taken away. Another bad pass for Durfee. And they draw the foul. Liz Rodriguez stuck the hand in, and she's going to get tagged with the foul, I think.
Travel call.
Well, they called a travel. Wow, that's I'm telling you, I thought that was going to be a foul. Clear cut, I thought that was going to be a foul.
Yeah, I seen the travel, but I thought it came just after the foul call.
See, I wasn't watching the feed. I saw Liz stick her hand in. I heard the whistle. I said, uh-oh. And then another bad pass. Now it's going to be Fernandez taking it, going to the basket. Wint and Carrero jump ball. Brockton gets it because Durfee started the quarter with possession. So one thing, Brockton with 6 fouls here as we begin the second quarter. And so for the Hilltoppers' sake, one more foul, and Durfee's going to be at the line for the remainder of the second quarter. So that's a help for Durfee. Tipped by Rodriguez, and Callahan as the motion lights above us continue. They're starting to shut off on us here in the gym. It's actually kind of cool, kind of like theater style here. We're losing light, and then it's focusing on the court. The field house at Durfee has the same thing.
Very cinematic.
Yeah. For 3, off the rim. Fernandez with the rebound. And the Boxers able to keep it here. They get it to Wint. Back out to Lorenzo. Now to Smith. Oh, actually, no, that's Williams. My bad. Number 3 is here's Smith. She lost it. Tumbling to the ground. Who wants it? And Lorenzo, who was on the other side of the court, comes away with it. 7 seconds. Williams for 3. No good. And James gets the rebound. Almost threw it away. Rivera was able to keep it. James wants 3. Got it from way out.
That was deep. That was.
Wow.
The Boxers still look like they're not passing with much authority, though, so.
Foul on Katera James, it appears. One thing Brockton does not have is they're not putting up the player who received the foul. So we're kind of going off of the signals of the official, which is not always the easiest thing to do. But we'll do our best for you. Nice move to the basket by Williams. Has some help there from Fernandez, who puts it down for her first points of the contest. And it is a 4-point game. Rivera, nice, trying to get it to Carrero and could not. And it's going to be, I think, a turnover here. Let's wait and see. Well, the Hilltoppers are going to get to keep it, but I'm kind of surprised that Rivera didn't just take it. She seemed to have a lane to the basket. Inbounding by Elise Alemian. James, 10 seconds on the shot clock. They get it to Alemian. Now a bad pass. They were going to Carrero, but she had 2 boxers around her. Fernandez going to the basket. Can't get it to go. Wint with the rebound as the Hilltoppers that were charging kind of blew past the basket. Couldn't box out for the rebound. Now Williams directing traffic. They get it to Lorenzo, who goes for 3, and that one goes down. 20-13 is a 7-point game.
Hilltoppers are giving the Boxers too many second chance points, in my opinion. They're not rebounding well. They should be rebounding a lot better.
So another foul on the Hilltoppers. And it turns the ball over. Hilltoppers picking up their 4th foul. Williams for 3, and that's off the rim. And she's going to get the rebound back. Again, nobody back there. Wint puts it up for 2. Going to let it fall. Going to have a jump ball, and it's going to go the Hilltoppers' way. We'll talk a little superstition here because we all know Coach Kelly is superstitious. And he wants to win, not just because it's the playoffs and he wants to advance, but he feels that with me here, that we can avenge the loss to Newton South back in 2013 when I was not here for the playoff game. I was actually away. I was out of town. And he still blames me for that loss. That's for 3 from Wint, and the lead is 10. almost every game that I was at, whether I was broadcasting or filming highlights that season, Brendan Kelly and the Lady Hilltoppers won. And in that one playoff game I wasn't here for, he still thinks there was a little something going on there. So his feeling is, we got to beat Brockton because you're gonna help us avenge the Newton South loss. I said, well, I'm not playing though, so it doesn't always work that way. We can think it does. I'm happy to play along because I get superstitious too, but I have nothing to do with it. It's a player's game. I'm sitting here commentating. That's about it. And I can tell you from a commentating standpoint, the Hilltoppers need some help offensively. They can't hit anything from the field. And I just say that Carrero able to put it down, and now a timeout called by Coach Kelly. So before that basket for Carrero was the 3-ball to start this quarter from James, and Durfee had nothing since. So now 23-15. Get it back to an 8-point game, but Hilltoppers definitely, they got to find a way to get to the basket and get some rebounds, because you're right, they're giving Brockton way too many second chance offerings.
Absolutely. She puts up the shot from the 3. It bounces off the rim, goes over 3 Hilltoppers, and then she gets her own rebound. You can't let that happen. You just can't. It's going to, you can see it, it's hurting them.
Yeah, that was Williams a couple minutes ago, and part of it, too, is that, when the ball hits the rim, if it doesn't go in, it's going to hit the rim. But if it does hit the rim and it doesn't go in and it comes back, you get the ball back, it resets the shot clock. So you're shortening the game as well for your opponent. If you can't get the rebound, you're shortening the game. Actually, you're shortening the game for yourself, because if your opponent's getting the ball right back, there goes another 30 seconds.
Absolutely.
All right, Boxer's going to inbound.
Let there be light.
I know. One of the cheerleaders just walked by the scores table and kicked on one of the light stanchions. Lorenzo out to Fernandez. Now that is Montero, number 11. Back to Lorenzo, who's kind of been all over the court. Wint wants 3, and it's no good. Going to go out of play. James watches it go out of play. And Durfee going to get it back. Jade Wint had 19 points in Durfee's first game against Brockton, and that was the game we had on Fred TV. Montero picking up her team's 7th foul. And a 1-and-1 here for Carrero, who's 3 for 6 at the line tonight. So Wint had 19. She's already at 14. That one falls. Carrero's 4th trip. She's hit the first shot on every trip now. Got to hit the second. Dribbles in and out. Unbelievable. So Carrero on the first shot, 100%. But the second shot, 0 for 4. Another jump ball. Brockton ball this time.
Much like the Somerset game, nothing is just nothing is falling for the Hilltoppers. They're putting up, it's just not going in. Same thing at the free throw line again.
They pass it to Wint, out to Lorenzo, back to Williams. Going underneath, it's tipped out of bounds with 13 on the shot clock, and the Boxers will inbound. Bad pass in. They were going for Williams. The Hilltoppers able to get it. Atia Rivera going around the back. Pass to Anusha Lemian, who's back into the game. I'll tell you, again, Brockton's defenders in the paint have been outstanding. That was blocked by Fernandez. A 3 for Callahan that was blocked. Hilltopper's going to get it back on the bad pass, but that one didn't even reach the basket. The Hilltoppers, we got 2 minutes to play in the half. Anusha Lemian for three. That's long. The Hilltoppers can keep it close, keep it within 5 here. That would be a big win considering the offensive struggles that they're having right now. Back out to Williams. Flying in is Fernandez. Out to Wint, who was open, and it's long. Tipped. Somehow, Smith comes away with it. Anusha Lemian could not get the rebound.
I mean, come on. That's right in your hands. You've got to take that down.
I know, kind of slapped at it. Didn't so much grab it. And right there was Smith. Carrero can't get it to fall. Man, oh man. Frustration here in the first half for Durfee from the field, and Fernandez puts it in for two. All too easy underneath. It is now a 9-point game with 60 seconds to play in the half. Hilltoppers have just put up 6 points this quarter. James puts it up, and by something against the laws of physics, that ball went up and over and in. James with 10 for the Hilltoppers.
In my opinion, she should be at the free throw line right now taking another shot.
Yeah. Fernandez for three. 10-point game. Shot clock is off. Hilltoppers will take the last shot here of the first half. At least they look to do so. Carrero can't get it to go in. Get the ball back out. That was Rivera who got the rebound. Now back across to her. Back to our side, and that is her third bad pass of the half. That has cost the Hilltoppers possession. James coming out, and Anusha Lemian coming out, and Carrero coming out. So a bunch of subs here for the Hilltoppers. Rodriguez in, Elisa Lemian in, and also Diamond Gerald into the game. 2 seconds. Smith gets it off. It's wide to the right. No good. But the Hilltoppers, man, oh man, really struggling offensively. And I'll tell you, we credit that Brockton's defense has been very tough to this point, but the Hilltoppers also need to make some shots, and they're struggling from the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Durfee struggling from the field is not saying anything wrong about Brockton's defense. Their defense is part of the reason why they're struggling. They're closing out very well on the shot, putting 2 people on the ball almost every time Durfee comes down the court.
I mean, you look at James with 10 of the 18 points for Durfee. The other 8 to, the other 6 to Carrero, and then Liz Rodriguez had a basket in the first. That's it. You know, the Lemian and Callahan both quiet here in the first half. Had a couple looks. Callahan had a couple shots that were blocked. So Abby, you know, kind of a tough luck there, but that's credit to the Brockton defense as well. You know, but a very tough first half for the Lady Hilltoppers. So here at halftime of the MIAA State Tournament preliminary round game, we hear from the MIAA before we break for halftime. More than 200,000 students will participate in approximately 100,000 high school sport competitions among the MIAA's 360 member schools this year. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association encourages you to support your local high school athletic programs and the students who participate in them. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza will be back with the third quarter from Brockton right after this. Third quarter about to begin here at Brockton High School. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you on Fred TV for the MIAA State Tournament, a preliminary round game between the visiting Durfee Lady Hilltoppers and the home team Brockton Lady Boxers. It is 28-18. A quick word from the MIAA here. High school sports provide an extension of the classroom where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The MIAA urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competitions in your community. Third quarter is underway, and it begins with the Hilltoppers losing possession that they started with, much like the beginning of the game. So not the way the Hilltoppers wanted to come out of the locker room for sure. To the basket, uncontested, is Fernandez for 2. She's up to 9 points for the Boxers. Carrero, all kinds of contact, can't get to the basket. And now breaking is Fernandez, and they draw the foul. Looks like he might have touched her on the head there. It's going to be Elisa Lemian picking up the first Durfee foul of the second half. Well, as you said, Zach, you know, we were saying that Brockton hadn't been to the line at all in the first half. So why not make them earn some points at the line instead of these easy baskets off of turnovers or, penetrating the defense basically without any contest. And right here, first ball is missed. So first free throw miss. Second one good, though. So instead of 2 points, just the one. Needless to say, though, it's an 11-point game. Ooh, almost a travel there for Alemian. Got the foot down, though, and was able to dribble out to James. It's off the rim for 3, and Alemian was playing back, not ready to box out. And it's Fernandez who got the rebound. It's tipped by Alemian using the height, but Fernandez gets it back. Now they go to Wint, who is the game's leading scorer, and she's going to add to her total. She's got 16 now. Now, to the Hilltoppers' credit, she only had 3 in the second quarter after an 11-point first quarter. So the Hilltoppers were able to quiet her down a little bit.
Too many people around the perimeter. They need more people down towards the basket. The three-point shot's not working for him.
Oh, Elisa Lehman puts one up, and it goes right around the rim. Carrero there for the rebound and gets the foul. She'll take her, or make her third trip to the free throw line here. It's Jayla Smith picking up the foul. And Carrero is 4 for 8 at the line tonight. She'll take 2 shots, and the first one is good. 33-19. The Hilltoppers, unfortunately, could continue to fall further behind, but Carrero makes both shots there. First perfect trip at the free throw line. It brings it to 13 points, the deficit. Wint boxes out, puts it in for the second chance effort.
Much like the first half, they're not doing well rebounding the ball. They need to improve on that if they want to win this game. I think that's the big kill right now for Durfee.
Carrero puts it up, can't get it to go, and it's Williams with the rebound. As they charge back down the other side of the court. Fernandez turns, puts it in. I think in that case, lucky there was no foul. Timeout for the Hilltoppers. They are now down by 17. Brockton has come out on fire here in the third. They've put up 9 points already in 2.5 minutes. And that's just to the Hilltoppers 2, and those were from the line. Again, very quiet offensive performance for the Hilltoppers so far tonight, and I think a big reason really is also the Brockton defense. I don't think it's just, missed shots or turnovers. The defense has been very stingy getting to the basket.
Yeah, Durfee having offensive struggles. Brockton's defense, clearly the big part in that. They're closing out well, like I said before. But Durfee's offensive struggles isn't helped by they're not doing the greatest on defense either.
No, because you're right. Again, the rebounding, they're kind of like they're oversized, first of all. They're mismatched on the size factor because Wint and Williams and Fernandez are as tall as Carrero, and Shaylin is the tallest player on the court for Durfee. So the height factor, Durfee is definitely hurting, and they are at a disadvantage for sure. So comes to boxing out, and that's where I think you miss that presence of, Nicole Parks. Nicole was tall.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think she was taller than Shaylin. So she was boxing out. She was a big rebounder during the regular season for the Hilltoppers, and I think that they're missing her a little bit.
Big thing, too, with the rebounding is you look, a lot of the time when Brockton takes a shot, Shaylin's the only one down there trying to get a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
You need, not everybody, but you need more people to crash the boards trying to get the rebound.
Jade Wint with another basket, and she's got 20 points through less than 2.5 quarters. Loose ball and falling out of bounds. I think that's, that was Rodriguez, and she had the ball, so it's going to be a turnover. Some more personnel changes here as Abby Callahan checks back in. Atia Rivera taking a seat. And there's, I think, probably the first bad pass we've seen from Brockton all game. I mean, that was just right to the hands of Liz Rodriguez. Abby Callahan to James. James on the run, and we got a foul. And I think they're calling it on Shaylin. And they are. She's picking up the foul, an offensive foul, her second foul. Good D there from Abby Callahan, getting the ball back for the Hilltoppers. And try to get it to Carrero. Nope, going to go out. It's off the front of the rim. That was Catherine Callahan. And unfortunately, in a sudden death playoff game like this, every turnover in possession that doesn't, or should I say, every possession that doesn't result in points, it's working against you. Going back to Wint because she's hitting everything under the sun. She's got 8 points for the quarter, and it's a 21-point lead. The Hilltoppers have been outscored in this quarter 13-2. And the 2 points from the Hilltoppers came at the line. They did not come from the field, and that is through half of the third. So really just a full breakdown right now.
That's unbelievable.
Wint gets the rebound, trying to put it back, cannot. And Williams should have had that layup because she had numbers in her favor. 3 Hilltoppers were back, not able to get forward. Going out to Smith. Smith now driving the lane. Carrero puts the hand up. And now a jump ball. And it's still going to be Brockton ball. The Hilltoppers started the quarter with possession, so Brockton gets it this time. Ball was loose. Going for 3, and it's good. Jasilma Montrond, who is now in the book, had no points in off the bench. She has the 3 to make it 44-20. Ooh, James just went right down, completely lost her footing. Her left leg right out from under her. Williams on the other side, straight down the court for 2. And Williams has 14.
This is starting to get out of hand.
Yeah, it is. This has become a blowout. James with a desperation 3 here. Beautiful job by Rodriguez to keep it in, but James called on a travel. So you catch a break, and then you give it right back. Unfortunately, getting called on the travel. Williams slows up. Jumper no good. Right to the hands of Smith, and we're going to have a foul on the Hilltoppers. James picks up her second, and it's the 3rd team foul for the Hilltoppers. That was on the floor, so Brockton will inbound. Been a long 5 minutes here to start this third quarter for Durfee. They saw what was a 10-point deficit swell to 26 points in 5 minutes of play. Rodriguez coming away with it for the Hilltoppers, finding Catherine Callahan. James puts up the three, and it's good. That's her second from downtown. She's got 13 points on the night, leading the way for the Hilltoppers. 13 points for her. It's more than 50% of the Hilltoppers' points. A foul on Callahan. And it's Durfee's fourth.
Nothing else you can say right now about the Hilltoppers except they just need to do better. Everything they're doing right now isn't good enough. It needs to be better.
No, you're right, and that's exactly right. I think they're doing everything they can. Again, we've seen some turnovers, some careless passes, some balls that they can't get to go down. See, like right there, Shaylin with a beautiful block, and then Williams is right there for the putback. I mean, it's hard to defend against that if you don't have any help.
Right, and there's nothing you can do about that either. That's just tough.
Shaylin did her job. Now that bounces back out the three ball. Callahan to Callahan. Blocked by and taken away by Williams right down the court. And it's thrown away. Durfee will have it. We're talking on the ride up here that most of the big three games we've seen have all, in recent years, for the most part in basketball, always been very, for the most part, close, competitive. I mean, and again, unfortunately for Durfee, Brockton playing at a different level right now. They're definitely, they may look at another block. Rodriguez trying to put up the three, ends up settling for two, which is definitely a win. So she's got 4 points. But still, it seems like whatever Durfee does something right, Brockton's got an answer. And that, and the answer ends up being, multiple baskets or a three. And then you have Fernandez. So Fernandez and Wint lighting it up here in the third. Fernandez with 11 points here in the third. She's got 18 for the game. And a foul coming. It's going to put Carrero at the line. It's 50-25 here with 64 seconds to play in the third quarter. The foul's on Jade Wint. It's her second, and it's Brockton's second. And Carrero at the line for the sixth time in the game. She only has one basket from the field. Hits the first. So tough for Shaylin, too, who's used to getting a lot of layups. She's getting a lot of free throws here, but she's had a couple that haven't gone down. She's gotten to the basket. That does not go either. Smith defended, and a timeout called by Coach Connolly. As pinned in the corner was Smith. Rivera was holding her hostage over there. Actually, no, that was Rodriguez who was defending her. So a quick timeout here in the last minute of the third quarter, with the Hilltoppers down by 24. 24. Carrero, we look at the numbers here. Carrero with 7 points at the line. 7 for, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 7 for 12. And one basket from the field. So she's got 9 for the game. James with 13 and Rodriguez with 4. But that's it for the Hilltoppers for scoring. And again, on the other side, it's really become the Fernandez-Wint showdown here. Fernandez with 18 and Wint with 22. We're not even done with 3. If we look back at the January 12th game, Fernandez finished that one with 16. Wint finished it with 19. So they've both surpassed their totals from that game against Durfee. They get the pass in to Rodriguez. Callahan to James. James is back in there. James puts it up. Again, rolls off the rim. Loose ball. And Brockton comes away with it. And Williams is going to the basket all alone for 2.
Said it at the beginning of the broadcast, they were going to have to shut down Wynton Williams, and this was going to be a blowout, and that's what we're getting. They needed to shut them down to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, Williams, Fernandez, and Wint. Williams had been quite, believe it or not, that was just Williams' first basket, but she's been blocking shots and using her height to get rebounds, so she's been a factor, just not necessarily in the points category. Fernandez here, 33. She is, again, just a basket away from getting to 20. .9, now 5 seconds on the shot, on the clock, I should say. 1 second on the clock, and we do get it off, but it's no good. 3 buzzer beaters as well, by the way, that did not go, but this was Brockton getting the last shot in each quarter so far, and a huge, huge third quarter for the Boxers. They hold Durfee to just 8 points, just like they did in the second, and they put up 24. 24 points in the third. And they lead 52-28. So it has become a blowout here in Brockton. The Lady Hilltoppers basically clinging to life right now in the preliminary round game of the South D1 bracket in girls playoff basketball. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, citizenship, and responsibility are the trademarks of high school activities. Support school activities with your own display of good sportsmanship and help encourage America's youth to accept the responsibility which freedom demands. Support your local high school. See the future of America on display. Attend high school competitions in your community. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you from Brockton High School for the playoffs here. And again, these two teams split the season series. In the first game, Durfee won 62-57 at the Fieldhouse back on February 2nd. The Hilltoppers traveled here and were defeated 50-38. But tonight, very lopsided game here in the playoffs. 52-26 is the score at the moment. And the Hilltoppers, who started with possession here in the fourth, they started with possession in each quarter, not able to cash in on that first possession and get some points. So it's do or die time here. Anusha Lemian gets the rebound. They're going to get it out to her. Quickly met by 2 defenders, going back to Shaylin Carrero, and luckily for her, James was in the vicinity, otherwise it would have gone out of play. Callahan to Liz Rodriguez, blocked by Williams. Timeout for the Hilltoppers as Carrero slow to get up for Durfee. Shaking it off, landed on her wrist or on her arm. Our trainer, Kelly Mahoney, going to make sure she's okay. And Coach Conley not happy, I don't think, with the timeout that was granted to the Hilltoppers because, first of all, I thought we were going to see a jump ball, Zach, and then second of all, the ball was sent out of the pile there and passed out to the arc. So to me, the ball was still in play. If you're not going to call a jump ball, the ball was still in play. But there was only 4 seconds on the shot clock, and I think that's why Coach Kelly called timeout. So 4 seconds, Durfee will inbound and have to get a shot off relatively quickly here. They lob it in, and nobody home, right to Wint. And so they'll feed it down to the other side. Lorenzo with it now. Waits and takes a long three. Carrero up the ladder for the rebound. Boxed out there nicely. One of her first clean rebound attempts there. And it could be Brockton just playing back as well. Again, they have a big lead in this one. They've doubled up on Durfee's score. So that could be part of it too. As the Boxers pick up their third foul. They get it to Carrero, back to James, and calling it a carry there. All right, so a turnover. Coach Kelly not disputing. He was right in front of it either, not saying anything, so. Wint puts it up, no good. James with the rebound, coming back the other way. 6 minutes to play. The winner will advance to Newton South and play the #1 seed. That does not go down. The rebound, though, Carrero gets the basket. And like I said earlier, amazingly, that's just her second from the field. And now a foul. Carrero picks up her third personal. And it's the 5th team foul. And it's going to put Fernandez at the line. This is just the second trip to the free throw line for the Boxers all game. Fernandez had the first one, and she went 1 for 2, and she misses the first shot here. Wint coming out of the game. Fernandez misses them both. Those were both very short free throws, not really close at all. And Wint, after having looked like a swig of water, right back into the game. Lofted towards the basket by Elisa Lemian, and that does not fall for the Hilltoppers. Williams takes it back out, and we're going to slow it down here, I think, with the big lead. Out to Smith, now to Lorenzo, who just keeps putting up threes. That one wide to the right. Smith comes all the way down to get the rebound. Wint going on her left hand, puts it down for 2. 24 points for Jade Wint. Out to James, again, quickly. It seems like wherever the ball goes, whoever has the ball, they get double teamed.
Yeah, that's been happening all game. You know, it's been really making it hard for the Hilltoppers to score because they've had.
Oh, man.
That bounced right on the back.
No kidding. That's just ridiculous. Abby Callahan, man, you can't make this stuff up. But that's like, for that, if that didn't go in, that would have been like, yep, sure, that's like par for the course tonight with the Hilltoppers' luck with some of the shots. And, you know, when they get a good look, sometimes they're not going or they're getting blocked. A miracle that one went down.
I guarantee you'll never see that again, though.
That was crazy because that ball was stuck, and then it just it's like
no movement at all.
Yeah, it's like in golf, you know, when you roll right to the pin, and then it stops and it balances there, and then, you know, I don't know, maybe an ant breathes on it or something, and then it falls. Carrero gets the foul call, a little bit of a late whistle, but it looked pretty clear cut here. So Carrero going to the basket. Coach Connolly not liking it, but I'll tell you, Carrero doesn't just fall to the ground without no contact. So
I feel like she's been the only one at the line for the Hilltoppers for the majority of the game.
Well, you're right. That's because she has been, aside from the one who got the scoring started for Durfee, and that was Katera James with the 3 free throws on the foul that she got on the 3-ball attempt in the first quarter. She's the one who put the first points on the board for Durfee. And now Carrero's been at the line the rest of the way. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This is her 7th free throw trip. And then we had a timeout, by the way, by Coach Brendan Kelly. So a timeout with 4:17 to play. It's a 54-31 game in favor of Brockton. So again, the winner moves into the main bracket, into the first round, and will travel on Thursday to Newton South, face the number 1 seed, who is 19-1. So Newton always tough. Newton is just, both schools, always tough. And we've played them enough between boys and girls. Carrero hits the second shot. But yeah, the Newton teams, just for whatever reason, they are just always contenders in boys and girls, both Newton South and Newton North, always tough. A couple years ago, the boys played in Newton South, if I think it was Newton South, and it was not really a close game, I have to be honest. Newton South played a great game that game. The foul is on Tanis. Picks up her 4th. Carrero at the line now for the 8th time. I can't remember the last time a player made it to the line 8 times in a game, I'll tell you.
She's getting there a lot, and she's, I mean, she's not making up for it. She is making a good amount, but she's still missing.
She's hit just over 50%.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to the free throw line. You need to make, especially when you're going that much, you need to make more. Especially in a game like this, state tournament game. That's a game changer. Missing those big free throws. You know, you don't see it much with a game to score differential this big, but.
Mm-hmm. No, and I mean, again, she's had a lot of looks. Went for 2. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Tanis. Tanis for 2. Yeah, I mean, Shaylin's been to the line a ton tonight, so 14 shots at the line, and she's hit 8. By my count, James for 3, and that one rolls in too. And it's now down to a 20-point game.
Chipping away.
So 16 shots, my bad. 16 for Carrero tonight at the free throw line. A block by Carrero, no fouls there. And Carrero's hit 9 of her free throws, so just over 50%. Usually a little higher. She's usually a little higher percentage-wise at the line. That one rolls off the rim, and yeah, that was kind of close. But no call on Fernandez for kind of carrying with the ball there. And now a foul. Shaylin picking up her 4th. Durfee's 6th foul. 2:25 to play. So Durfee with 6, no more to give. Next foul will result in free throws for Brockton. Underneath, Jamari Johnson just into the game. She gets 2. James gets the feed back. Standing right in her way was Tanis. I didn't think you could just stand there like a statue and block a player who's coming your way. But no call. The Hilltoppers give it back. And Carrero has just fouled out and will come out of what's going to be her last high school basketball game. And the Hilltoppers subbing everybody in now, but Carrero fouling out with Durfee's 7th foul here. It's her 5th, and the 1,000-point scorer, Shaylin Carrero, has just seen her high school career come to an end. very quiet in this gym, too, I'll tell you. Fernandez on the 1-and-1 missed the first. She is only 1 for 5 at the line. She's been the only one at the line tonight in limited time for the Boxers. But I'll tell you, the home team, everybody just been very quiet in here. It's kind of a weird atmosphere, I have to be honest. You know, like even right from the start, it wasn't like, you know, all we hear are the cheerleaders. Might as well not have any fans here. It's been really quiet. Just a very strange game. Definitely not what I expected in terms of the score. I did not expect this to be a blowout. Not at all. I would have figured within 5 points someone would win. Not 20 plus. I did not expect that at all. But then, too, like not a lot of Durfee fans here. And not a big crowd here at all either. So just to me, it doesn't like feel like a playoff game. I guess that's what I'm getting at. You know, it's not. We've done enough playoff games at home. The place is rocking. It doesn't matter if it's the prelims or what. It's rocking. And girls or boys. And this has just been very strange. Been very strange tonight.
Yeah, if you don't follow high school basketball with us, you would think this is just a third game of the season, early in the season. It's not even like – it's not just so much that they're quiet. There's nobody here.
There's a small group of Durfee fans just to the left, like across from the bench.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then even so, it's just not – just really weird. It's the best way to put it. Very weird. It doesn't feel like a playoff game at all. Didn't really feel like it from the start, to be honest with you. Another 1-and-1 missed by Fernandez, so her and she's coming out. Her free throw percentage not very good tonight. She was the only one to take shots. She went on the bench here with the 20-point lead. All the subs coming in, and the 20-point lead for Brockton with 44.4 to play. So the Boxers going to head to Newton South. Going to need a whole heck of a lot of luck, I'll tell you that. But after what we saw tonight, if they can let Wint and Fernandez do some damage against Newton South, then, hey, you know, they may have a chance against the number 1 seed, because what we saw tonight from Fernandez and from Wint was very impressive play. Both of them just having great nights. 18 points for Fernandez. She had 0 in the fourth. Could have gotten up to 20 if she had hit some of those free throws. And then Wint, even though only 2 points here in the fourth, the one basket, she has over 20, 24 for the game. So very impressive performance by number 33 and number 35 for the Boxers. And I think they're going to have to rely on them against Newton South if they intend to. Timeout for Coach Kelly, coaching to the very end here, 10.2 seconds to play. But, yeah, Coach Conley and the Boxers, they will be moving on. And, like I said, they're going to have to rely, I think, on Fernandez and Wint heavily, at least from the scoring department, because between the two of them, they accounted for, 18 and 24, over 40 points. That's insane. Is that accurate? Let me double-check my math here. 24.
That is. Anytime you can get that out of just 2 players alone, you're in good shape.
Yeah, really. 24 and 18. So that's, 42 points between the two of them.
That's insane.
The team has put up 58 to this point. So, I mean, that's a recipe for success there. I mean, you don't want to rely on just 2 players. No. However, if you can get that kind of production from 2 players, sooner or later, it's going to also open up opportunities for other people because they're going to be covered up. So the bench players in for the Hilltoppers and the Boxers for the last 3 seconds as the Lady Hilltoppers season comes to an end after a one-and-done in the playoffs. A very tough loss for the Durfee girls who really do get blown out, unfortunately, here in Brockton. 58-38. They only allow 6 points in the fourth quarter, the Hilltoppers do. They put up 12 in the fourth, but unfortunately just, too little, too late. The 24-point third quarter really just took the wind out of the Hilltoppers' sail, allowing that the 24 points to Brockton in the third. That was huge. And that was really kind of what the difference maker was. I mean, the first 5 minutes of that third quarter really put the game away for Brockton.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said it too in the beginning. We both agreed we weren't expecting a blowout.
No.
The big thing I focused on was that familiarity between these two teams. They've seen each other before, but this was an entirely different Brockton team than we've seen the first 2 times they faced each other this season. So,
yeah, the first game at Durfee put up the 62 points to the 57 for Brockton. Brockton put up 50 when they hosted Durfee here, and that was a very low-scoring night for Durfee. It was very similar to this game. Brockton, again, 58 tonight, Durfee 38. So here at Brockton, the Boxers definitely have the home field advantage. And again, too, coming back from Christmas break there that Friday, the 12th, basically was, only the second week we were back from break. And I think that, looking at that game, the Hilltoppers came in. It was the first Big Three game. Brockton on the road. They hadn't seen Durfee this season. And I'd say that Brockton's made a heck of a lot of adjustments in the last 2 games they played Durfee, because both were here and both were after losing in Fall River.
Yep, they made a lot of adjustments. If there's really anything positive to take away from a blowout game like this, it's that this is going to be a lot easier of a game to get over rather than if it was a 59-58 score and Brockton had won on a buzzer. So it's going to be a lot easier, I think, to get over,
No, you're right, because, I still look back at the boys' game last year, that boys' playoff game. Durfee should have won that game, my opinion. But you're right. This one, yeah, you're right. Brockton kind of blew it out in the third, and it was just, play for pride, try to get it close, and do the best you can. So to that point, you're right. It's not like it was a buzzer and a big heartbreaker. Unfortunately, we kind of felt that it was done. Going into the fourth quarter, it just was such a big lead. But hey, we congratulate Lady Hilltoppers. They do get to share the Big Three crown here for 2017 and 18. Despite losing here in the first round of the playoffs, they are technically co-Big Three champs. And a congratulations, and we wish the best of luck to Shaylin Carrero, our 1,000-point scorer for the Hilltoppers, who will be graduating in the spring. So we're going to miss her next year for sure. We wish her nothing but the best. I think she's going to UMass, right, from what I saw?
UMass Dartmouth.
She's going to UMass Dartmouth. So she's staying close by, and we'll perhaps next winter we'll dive into a little college ball and go visit her and see how she's doing and do kind of a where is she now or where are they now. We'll go take a trip to Dartmouth and see how she's doing in college ball. We've done that a couple times. So, all right, Lady Hilltopper season comes to an end. We have Diamond basketball on tap here as well, though. The Diamond boys and the Diamond girls are in the playoffs. The Diamond boys play Wednesday at Old Colony out in Rochester. We will be there. And on Thursday, unfortunately, because Durfee lost, we won't be going to Newton South. But fortunately, the Diamond girls were playing Thursday as well. We will be heading to Coyle and Cassidy in Taunton on Thursday for their playoff game. So Hilltoppers done with hoops. Bengals basketball just getting started. So we got a lot more playoffs coming your way on Fred TV. Stick around and check back with us in the latter half of the week. So from Brockton, Evan Massoud and Zach Souza saying so long, and we'll see you soon.